Out of Plant, Andre, Vosdick, who was your toughest opponent today?
To be honest with you, I feel like the slickest fighter I fought was Plant because he moved around a lot. He knew how to use the ring. He was hugging a lot. Kenny Bayless has messed up that fight too. He didn't give him no warnings. But the toughest fight that I went through was probably my last fight because of so much injuries. You know what? I had a month and a half, torn the tendon, a month before the fight, fractured this because, you know, when you hurt one hand and you still got to spar, you're preparing for a good opponent. You can't just stop sparring. You know, you got to work the other hand because this might happen in the fight. So I'm working the hand. I throw a hook or an uppercut to the guy's head in the middle of the head right here, and that messed it up. So then, you know, I try to let it heal for like a couple more weeks, 2 weeks, and then I sparred. And then the sparring session was going good. Hands weren't hurting, you know, I was touching. The last round, I go back to the corner. I freaking get hit right there. I get split 10 stitches. And then, so when I was, you know, my mindset at that time, you know, I had to block everything out. You know, I didn't care about that because this was a really big card. Me and Tank were fighting, and I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. So I didn't give up on that. But when I was doing mitts in the back room, I felt my hands swelling up. This started hurting, so I'm like, man, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, buddy. Man.
But we get in there, bro, and it was a good fight. You know, I'm happy with the performance I put in there because he's a world-class fighter. You know, the only losses to Archer Beterbiev, but that was definitely, I had to dig deep for that one. But that's the type of experience you have to go through to let you know who you are. And that let me know I would never give up on anything.
I love it. I love it. You know, people, you know, the fans and stuff, they look at like a hardship in a fight, like a knockdown or, you know, bad performance. Or maybe you didn't look your best, like you said, but it's overcoming. That's what gives you them notches on the belt. When you start taking that competition up higher and you start, you know, reigning over a division. You know, it's not if you step on a landmine, it's when you're gonna step on a landmine.
And how you react.
But you gotta know, I done been through this, I done been through that, I overcame that. So the fans, they miss it a lot of times. They think a flawless performance, oh, he's unbeatable. It's like, yeah, he may have some weakness that you don't know about until he's tested in a certain type of way. But when you gotta deal with injuries and everything in you is like, man, pull out the fight. And you push through, and maybe the performance wasn't amazing, but I got through that thing, man, that's another strike. That's another strike.
It feels amazing. And honestly, it feels amazing because, like you said, I was this close to pulling out the fight. But the reason for me not pulling out the fight and going through the fight, and it feels like one of the biggest victories in my career.
I know, but tell the people, if they don't know, where you got the name, the Monster, from.
My promoter, Samson Lukowicz, when I first started, he used to call me El Bandera Roja. You know, I liked it, you know, but I feel like, you know, it was kind of time for something different. We went to go do the podcast with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was freaking the best person ever. And he's like, man, you know what? You like a Mexican monster. I'm like, that's it right there. You know, the people liked it. So, you know, we stuck with it. You know, the Mexican monster and the monster. El monstruo. In Spanish, it's el monstruo. In English, the Mexican monster.